Dustin's going out in a stretcher. That's my prediction. Going out of this fight in a stretcher.
He's a corpse, a dead body, a blank face. It's gonna get his ass whooped and took out in a stretcher.
Ever seen a fight end before you even grabbed your chair? In fact, UFC is known for its brutal and terrible finishes, which sometimes takes just a few seconds to get over. Let us dive into UFC's most extremely quick finishes. Number 1 is Jorge Masvidal vs. Ben Askren, UFC 239 in 0.05 seconds. A blink and miss is what many fans have called this fight. Jorge Masvidal vs. Ben Askren at UFC 239 was a highly expected welterweight fight, but not for the right reasons. Number 2 is Todd Duffy vs. Tim Hague, UFC 102 in 0.07 seconds. It was one of the fastest knockouts in UFC history on August 29th, 2009, that the people witnessed. Todd Duffy and Tim Hague's heavyweight preliminary contest quickly turned into a great highlight reel match as Duffy easily defeated Hague in just 7 seconds. Number 3 is Duane Ludwig vs. Jonathan Golett, UFC Fight Night 3 in 0.06 seconds. If you've ever heard of a battle being remembered for a powerful and precise exhibition in the ring, this one would be it. Duane Ludwig made UFC history on January 16, 2006 at UFC Fight Night 3, defeating Jonathan Golett via quick knockout. The first 10-second touch of the welterweight match ended before it even got halfway through. Referee Mario Yamasaki gave the signal to begin the fight, and Ludwig lost little time in getting right into it. Ludwig launched himself forward, smashing Golett directly on the chin with a right punch. After only 6 seconds of fighting, Golett fell to the ground, knocked unconscious by the terrible attack. Number 4 is Ryan Jimmo vs. Anthony Perosh, UFC 149 in 0.07 seconds. At UFC 149, which took place in Calgary, Canada on July 21st, 2012, Ryan Jimmo delivered an extremely quick knockout. Almost fighting in his home city of Edmonton, Jimmo lost his fight against Anthony Perosh quickly, within 7 seconds of the opening bell. The light heavyweight contest was written into the record books. With a forceful overhand right, Jimmo knocked Perosh unconscious, and he crashed to the ground. The damage was done, though an unnecessary follow-up punch was delivered. It was the 4th fastest knockout in UFC history when the referee instantly stopped the fight. Jimmo used his victory as a coming-out party and celebrated by doing a special robot dance movement. Number 5 is Gray Maynard vs. Joe Veras, UFC Fight Night 11 in 0.09 seconds. On September 19, 2007, at UFC Fight Night 11, Gray Maynard was decisively knocked out, solidifying his place in the ring. Maynard was very excited about the battle, having just appeared on The Ultimate Fighter. Joe Veras, his opponent, was a rookie in the UFC. Number 6 is Makwan Amirkhani vs. Andy Ogle, UFC on Fox 14 in 0.08 seconds. Though there have been many quick finishes in the UFC, Makwan Amirkhani's 2015 knockout of Andy Ogle at UFC on Fox 14 stands out as one of the fastest. Number 7 is Leon Edwards vs. Seth Baczynski, UFC Fight Night 64 in 0.08 seconds. The record-breaking speed of the UFC Fight Night between Leon Edwards and Seth Baczynski, which took place on April 11th, 2015 at UFC Fight Night 64 in Krakow, Poland, will go down in UFC history. Number 8 is James Irving vs. Houston Alexander, UFC 13 in 0.08 seconds. One of the fastest knockouts in UFC history occurred on April 2nd, 2008 during UFC Fight Night Florian vs. Lauzon. It took just 8 seconds for James Irvin, often known as the Sandman, to turn out Houston Alexander's lights on, the Assassin. The main card's opening matchup was this light heavyweight match. Irvin and Alexander were both well known for their ability to knock opponents out, but Irvin emerged victorious in his hands. With the referee signal, Irvin opened up with a barrage of punches. Alexander was knocked unconscious as one of them crashed squarely on his head. Number 9 is Francis Ngannou versus Curtis Blades, UFC 226 in 0.08 seconds. Francis Ngannou and Curtis Blades' heavyweight fight at UFC 226 was an intense power struggle that ended far too soon. It's famous for being the 7th fastest finish in UFC history. These two powerful UFC fighters have already crossed paths. Ngannou won via doctor stoppage in their previous meeting at UFC Fight Night 141. Many expected another close match at UFC 226, but the rematch never got past the initial phase of feeling each other out. Ngannou rushed forward with a quick right overhand as the referee signaled that the fight was about to start. In under 8 seconds, it landed flush on Blades' chin, bringing him to the floor unconscious. This win established Ngannou's reputation as a strong knockout performer. He strengthened the name The Predator with a punch that demonstrated his frightening punching power with amazing speed and precision. Number 10 is Darren Till versus Danny Roberts, UFC 228 in 0.14 seconds. At UFC 228 in 2018, only 14 seconds into the opening frame, Darren Till made an immediate impression by taking out Danny Roberts with a stunning flying knee and punch. Till was following Roberts in the middle of the ring when the fight started. Then, with a perfectly placed flying knee that struck Roberts flush on the chin, he exploded forward. Till then, a few unanswered blows landed on Roberts until the referee entered to end the fight and leave Roberts unconscious. The victory was a fantastic demonstration of Till's strength and ability to finish. It was also an achievement that helped him recover from his last fight loss against Tyron Woodley. This victory greatly impacted Till's career. It helped him establish himself as one of the welterweight division's top contenders and prepared him for upcoming fights with the finest competitors in the weight class. Do you think UFC is evolving much faster? And that is why the games are getting over quickly. Do share your opinions on this in the comments section. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye!